I'm having recording issues, so you're just gonna have to deal with a piece of my desktop for this review. Okay, so I watched Eclipse. Poor Conqueror is in a state of catatonia because of this. Silly boy couldn't handle his Twilight. So it's just gonna be me for now. Now, my main problem with this movie is the characters, as always. You know, I hate the fucking characters. So I'm gonna go through this really quick. I've got a post-it on both sides written on. Anyway, the first major instance of fuckery occurs 10 minutes in the movie when Edward sneaks into Bella's truck and breaks it because she's trying to meet Jacob, who is pissed off at her because of the events of New Moon, dating a vampire, all that jazz. Now, Edward, of course, being a creepy, manipulative little fuck, doesn't know. He's just being a jerk, pretty much. Now, this other thing that happens, it's just a minor irk for me, is when Bella's graduating in this movie, and anyway, she's talking to her valedictorian, and she's like, "Oh, your speech is gonna be epic!" That's not how you use the fucking word epic. It's just a fucking minor gripe to me. I keep saying fucking all the time. It's my thing, yeah? I'm a swear bag, I'm sorry. Anyway, Bella and Edward fly down to Florida to see her mom because of a thing I'll mention in a second. And the mom notices Edward watching him. Why don't you notice that Edward is creepy, Mom? Why? Anyway, the whole thing with this movie is that Edward and Bella want to get married, but Edward has to turn Bella into a vampire to do it. And there's so many losses and nothing much to gain from this. Bella's just making an immature decision based on a crush, pretty much. Why would you throw away the rest of your life, all your family, just for one man? It's unrealistic as fuck. There's also some antagonistic shit with a bunch of fresh vampires that are stronger than regular vampires being rallied together by the main antagonist lady, Victoria, who wants to kill Bella and Edward and whatnot. Anyway, Edward doesn't tell her any of this because he's deciding what's best for Bella by withholding information about her life being threatened. And Jacob is kind of rational, wants to tell her, and he flips out of bed because vampires and werewolves don't like each other. One actual funny line, and not like terrible funny, but actually kind of funny and self-aware, is when Edward says to Jacob, who's shirtless because all the fucking werewolves in this movie are shirtless, he says, "Doesn't he own a shirt?" Oh god, that laugh to the Twilight movie kill me. Anyway, there's a fucking love triangle in this movie because Jacob confesses his feelings for Bella, but he won't admit that she loves Edward. He's just like, "You love me! You just don't know it yet!" It's like, God. I used to think this Team Edward and Team Jacob shit, I used to think that Team Jacob was the lesser of two evils because he's not a creepy and manipulative fuck, but he's just a crazy fuck who can't accept that she likes Edward. I don't know why the fuck she likes Edward, but she likes Edward. Anyway, the reborn new vampire army is coming to Bella's town, so she and Edward hide in his house, and Bella wants to fuck Edward, and it's really all awkward stuff. But Edward doesn't want to fuck Bella because he's got this antiquated notion of chivalry and whatnot because he's like from 1910 or some shit. And that is an explanation for him being a creepy manipulative fuck, I suppose, because he's like from old times, but I just think it's what Meyer actually believes, and it's fucking terrible. So anyway, they hide up in the mountains, and Bella's all cold, so Jacob huddles into her all warm because he's a big werewolf, and he's a crazy fuck again. He's all like, "Oh, she loves me, she just doesn't know it, Edward, you're an awful man." Edward doesn't even want to turn her into a vampire at the time. He's like, "No, I don't want to do it, I really don't want to do it, but I don't want to lose you." It's fucking horrible. Then we have a big fight scene with the new vampires and the old vampires and the werewolves who've joined up with the old vampires. It's basically just this excuse to keep the boyfriend's minds from melting into mush because it's like a big old awesome action sequence. And I gotta admit, it's pretty cool seeing the vampires getting their symbols ripped apart. It's just mindless frenzy, and thank you for putting that in and trying to spare me a little, but it doesn't really fucking help because the romance still kills me. Or lack of romance. Edward's a manipulative fuck because he proposed to Bella when she wanted to fuck him there, and he says this within earshot of Jacob, so he runs off, and Bella's like, "Oh, kiss me, Jacob," and he kisses her, and then he goes off again. Why the fuck? Don't confirm this, "Oh, you love them both" thing and make a love triangle. It's just, so the movie pretty much just ends with a big old fight scene. The vampires win. Bella and Edward are gonna get married anyway, and she's gonna fucking turn into a vampire because she's a fucking stupid woman. So yeah, that's Eclipse. Is Eclipse bad? Pretty much. But I'm kind of getting like desensitized to it because I'm not like raging. I'm just like, these characters are stupid. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See you later.